Restorative justice is like huge to me, and it was like my life. Like that's what I did. Like I live and breathe restorative justice.
Restorative justice brings together everyone who's been affected by crime or conflict, gives them the opportunity to talk about how they have been affected, what their experience of it was, and then to brainstorm ideas of how to make things right, how to figure out what needs to happen so that we can put this behind us, or so that we can come out stronger on the other side, or so that we can coexist peacefully. Another way that I describe restorative justice specifically in schools is talking about the fact that schools are a closed community, and so when harm happens in a closed community, if you don't deal with it, then it just kind of sits there and festers and starts to infect everything else around it.
The reintegration is the huge part, and especially in a school environment. We think about it in the community, and reintegration is one of the R's for restorative justice, but what we don't really think about is those closed communities, because if we can't figure out how to bring them back into that community where they feel accepted, we're going to lose them. Too much we find that adults are the ones handling the punishment. Criminal justice system, the administration, the police department, everybody's adults. They're sitting there telling them what they did was wrong. When they get a set of their peers that sit down with them and say, you know what, you made a mistake. You did something wrong and we can fix it together. That's huge, that's powerful for these kids.
I think it has a major impact now that more people are going through the process and more people are knowing about the process. And most people are kind of seeing that fights are not the way to go. Because we had a lot of fight cases, and now people are seeing through the process, there's other alternatives.
After like the whole talking about getting the story out there, I like when we start to work on the problem. Like when we get into the nitty-grittiness of okay, now how you affected these people, how did this make you feel? And it's you can watch the people change, and it helps to make them realize that, geez, this is bad, why would I'm not gonna do this again, because I realize how many people I've harmed.
I think it's really good because it shows them like a ripple effect of the things they have done and how they think it just affected one person, but it affected a lot of people, and then it really shows them why they shouldn't make mistakes.
It's also that that it's giving people positive feedback. So it's they're not just labeled with the bad image of what they did. They know how they have a second chance. There you go, basically. And RJ's that second chance.
Sometimes I don't make the best decisions, but I feel I make up for that. Everything wrong I've done, restorative justice helps me make up for it, because I'm helping people and I'm hopefully changing their lives somehow. And if it can change their lives, then it can change mine. So.
They're the ones that have created this sense that anyone is welcome. Anyone who wants to be on the team has a place. And that's a really good reminder for adults. We tend to get in our insular little towers. It's a constant reminder of openness and acceptance that is really good for me.
We got each other's backs.
I feel like we're a family. I feel like everything we do is as a team. We do it together, and even throughout, if we're not in process, if we're not together as a group, we still have those connections and those friendships.
I value my relationships with people a lot more, and I try not to break anyone's trust because I've seen how that's affected people. And I try to be a lot more patient with people and kind, so they don't get upset or anything. It's made me a better person, most definitely.
I feel very confident with them.
I think first and foremost, I have learned about the incredible ability that youth have to do things that we don't expect them to do, and how they rise and meet and exceed expectations over and over and over.
We educate our teachers on how to teach, but we lack in the disciplinary side of it. And restorative justice gives them a language and a set of tools that they can use to deal with a problem child in their classroom. And once it starts becoming relational, once they start realizing that there's a relationship involved, even at the high school level, those kids don't want to break that relationship. Because it works, and that's the big thing. Put everything else aside, it's a program that works.